from today's video, I'm going to discuss both the elements of profession and the historical development of teacher preparation and professionalization in the Philippines from pre-Hispanic period in 1996. But before that, let me introduce myself. I am Jennifer Ilagan De Feo from BS Ed Science.
Elements of a profession. Number 1. Initial professional education. Professionals generally begin with their professional lives with completing a university program in their chosen field: teacher education, engineering, nursing, and accountancy. This means long and arduous years of preparation. Take note, this is just an initial, which means only the beginning because the professional expected to learn endlessly. The second one, accreditation. University programs are approved by the regulatory body like the Commission on Higher Education or CHED in the Philippines to ensure that graduates from these recognized programs start their professional lives with competence. 3. Licensing. Licensing is mandatory, not voluntary, and is administered by the government authority. In the Philippines, the government authority is the Professional Regulatory Commission or the PCR. The fourth one, professional development. This is an ongoing professional education that maintains or improves professionals' knowledge and skill after they begin professional practice. In the Philippines, this is a continuing professional development mandated by RA 10912, otherwise known as the CPD Act of 2016. 5. Professional societies. Professionals are themselves as part of a community of like-minded individuals who put their professional standards above the individual's self-interest or their employer's self-interest. This professional society put dedication to the public interest and commitment to moral and ethical values. Professional society defines certification criteria, manage certification program, establish accreditation standards, and define a code of ethics and disciplinary action for violations of that code. The last one, the code of ethics. Each profession has a code of ethics to ensure that these practitioners behave responsibly. The code states what professionals should do. Professionals can be ejected from their professional society or lose their license to practice for violating the code of ethics. Historical development of teacher preparation and professionalization in the Philippines. During the pre-Hispanic period, there was no established formal schooling in the country, so there was no formal preparation for teachers too. The mothers and fathers and tribal leaders served as the teachers at home in the community. During the Spanish period, by the virtue of educational decree of 1863, free public school system was established. There was one school for boys and one other school for girls in every municipality. The Spanish missionaries served as teachers. The same decree provided for a normal school run by the Jesuits to educate male teachers in Manila. Normal schools for women were not established until 1875. It was the Spaniard who started training teachers in a normal school. Paz Ramos, once Dean of the College of Education of the University of the Philippines, Diliman, claims, the foundations of teacher education in the Philippines were laid by the Spanish government during the mid-18th century. It is said to have begun on August 4, 1765, when King Charles of Spain issued a royal decree requiring each village to have a maestro. On November 28, 1772, another royal decree specified the qualification of teachers. However, it was not until 1863 that there was a specific attempt to systematize and update the education of Filipino teachers. At the end of Spanish rule, schools during the Spanish era were closed for a time by Aguinaldo's government, so there was no teacher preparation that took place. During the American regime, American soldiers served as the first teachers. In 1901, the Philippine Commission enacted into the Law Act of 74, which created the Department of Public Instruction, laid the foundation of the public school system, and offered pre-primary education for Filipinos. There was a shortage of teachers. The Philippine Commission authorized the Secretary of Public Instruction to bring the Philippines 600 teachers from USA. They are the Thomacites. Due to the urgent need for teachers, the Americans give bright young Filipino students opportunity to take up higher education in American colleges and universities financed by the Philippine government. They were the pensionados.
And that's all. We already tackled about the elements of profession and the historical development of teaching preparation and professionalization in the Philippines. So I hope that you learned something about it, especially those aspiring students who wants to become a future teacher. This video helps you a lot to be more professional in your chosen career. And that would be all. Thank you for your participation and thank you for listening.